How do you know if it's worth it to invest this much in a GPS dog collar? Well, you'd have to test it side by side with its closest competitors to see if its claims about having the most accurate GPS capabilities are actually true. And I did that. And it does cost a lot to buy a bunch of GPS dog collars, so if you do buy one, the link in the description is both a discount and helps the channel so we can keep testing these on your behalf. And I appreciate it, as do our testers and this guy who helped me light the room so I look good. So there's a ton of things you can read on the SpotOn website. It's proven to prevent escapes 99.3% of the time. It works where others don't. Copyright 2025, terms of service. It doesn't mean anything, at least not in isolation. You need advice from someone who's actually purchased the collar. And hey, look, I have it. And I tested it, and I tested its competitors because there's a really interesting way to judge this collar that we'll get into by the end of this video. But first, school. If you didn't know, there are a ton of collars available that feature GPS to protect your dog. Some have more features than others, and some are cheaper or more expensive. A common mistake I see is that people think an expensive collar with a lot of features is overkill, so they go with a cheap collar because they figure they just don't need the extra stuff. You may not need the extra features, but let me give you some context as to why they're here. SpotOn has always been a premium product, and it's at the top of the list in terms of accuracy claims. The whole point of the company is that you can bring your dog anywhere and create a custom GPS fence to keep them inside the perimeter you want. Smart business. They've been around since 2015, and what's happened since is kind of interesting. More GPS dog fences emerged that did two things. They undercut SpotOn on price, and they added new features. It's an interesting concept. Obviously, not everyone can afford a premium GPS dog collar, so why not make a cheaper one? And if people are concerned about how accurate it is, add a feature instead of improving your core technology, since that's a lot cheaper to make. When I say features, I mean things like a collar that tells your dog to go home, but you record the voice yourself on your phone, so it's actually your voice coming out of the collar. It's not nothing, but it's also not the reason you buy one of these. So what does SpotOn do? When they develop a new model, they look at what else exists on the market and they just add it too. Our product charges in under an hour. All right, one generation later, SpotOn made that work. We can track your dog's activity, okay? Put that in. But if you're just reading feature lists off a website, it looks like there are cheaper options with some neat extras, and SpotOn looks like the one collar that's a little overpriced. In my experience, this is where people get it the most wrong. Having multiple GPS dog collars means you can actually test whether their accuracy claims hold up. Most major competitors will say their fence works even in areas with no cell reception, and they'll put data up on the website to back it up. Well, I'm not a website, last I checked. I have feet and arms and a friend who will go with me to the dog park to film us testing each of these collars. Roll the footage. I should explain what's going on here. We built a fence at a park with notoriously bad cellular reception. There's also tree cover along the boundary, right next to a curb where cars are going by. So if a collar claims it'll work under heavy tree cover and bad cell reception, this is the spot to actually test that. And holding up one of the main competitors, another collar I've actually talked about on this channel, look at that. My friend is in the street. Not only that, but this happened 2 out of the 5 times we tried to approach the boundary. Most of these collars run on a 3-tier warning system. Your dog is getting close, your dog is really close, your dog is at the boundary. Nope. Sure, you saved $500, but now your dog is in the street. That doesn't happen with SpotOn. Watch him do the test and place a flag every time he gets close to the boundary. Warning 1, warning 2, warning 3. And if you're asking, did SpotOn just get lucky that one time? No. Here's a different angle of the park. Warning 1, warning 2, warning 3. See, this is the reason I like talking about this stuff on YouTube. I've gotten another dog in the last year, and keeping them protected is something I think about constantly. It bothers me that there are products out there pushing the idea that you can save some money and still get the same protection, when the reality is they just don't. I know I tried to make this video a little more entertaining at times, but I hope it comes across that I'm genuinely trying to offer the best advice I can for people trying to protect their precious pups. Here's where I land on this. SpotOn's price tag isn't padding. It's the thing you're actually paying for. The GPS accuracy that competitors try to paper over with extra features is the one part of the collar you can't afford to compromise on, because when it fails, it doesn't fail quietly. It fails in the middle of a street. That doesn't mean SpotOn is flawless. No product is, and I'll always tell you where the friction points are when I run into them. But on the one test that actually matters, the boundary holding when your dog needs it to hold, it's the collar that didn't let me down, and it's the one I keep coming back to. If you want to grab one for your own dog, the link in the description gets you a discount and helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. I appreciate every one of you who uses it. It's what lets us keep buying and testing these things so you don't have to guess. Thanks for watching, and give your dog a treat for me.